What's up, everyone, and welcome back to uh, well, first off, it has been a long time since I've done a video. Quarantine's getting to me. Today we're going to be talking about a book, or play, as I should say, called The Glass Menagerie. Now, there are a few movies out there. I don't know if you guys have actually seen that before, but this takes place in the Great Depression between World War I and World War II. If I had to hazard a guess, I would have to place this taking place probably right before our country goes into World War II, because we were starting to lose neutrality at that time. While some of the other countries, some of our allies, were already in combat with the other countries, some of the sailors or veterans that were already part of the military were coming to get called into service. Now, at first, this book will seem like just a family that argues a lot and guy that comes and goes. But that's not the entire gist of the story. Today, I'll be going into to what the story is mostly about, not just a regular old family just arguing, and then all of a sudden a guy that just appears and then bugs out and leaves. This, on the other hand, this stream series will be broken up into 3 parts, 1 per day, that I'll probably be aiming to go for. But anyways, aside from that, Glass Menagerie has one of the children as a narrator, which is the son. He introduces himself as Tom. Now he goes into a little introduction before he actually goes into his story, which is basically what this entire story is mostly about. Is his, well, weird family for his time. He has a very extremely shy sister who would, well, upchuck in any forced situation that she is extremely uncomfortable with. A mother who's, well, you could say she's a totalitarian, but also wishing for the children's success and happiness, but doesn't have a very clear picture on how their lives will be. And the son, on the other hand, who's the only person who works, pays for the rent and power bills there. Basically, they're a pretty poor family. And their father abandoned them, abandoned the children, and abandoned the wife. He just upped and left. Just like that. And again, he was also a drunkard. And if he did serve in World War I, he probably saw something that he probably did not want to see, that scared him so bad that it scared him into being a drunkard. Which is obviously something that the mom, Amanda, doesn't want the son, Tom, getting into. Doesn't want him going down that same path, basically becoming a drunkard. That thank goodness, will not happen. Anyways, moving on from there. This story actually, however, does have many relations to my life. And also probably some of yours as well. The near end of it, that is, the narrator, well, I'm just not going to spoil it for you if you haven't read it. If you haven't read it, please stop, find the movie, and watch one of the versions of it. Come back, and then I can say it. If you have, then good. The narrator of the story actually does get an eviction notice from the mother. How this relates to my life, that is, my mom, before I was even born, when she was 18, she got an eviction notice from my mom, who I'm living with right now. Now, my mom is not the type of lady you want to be in a relationship with. And if you do, it will not be a good one. She is highly volatile. It's just, she's not the type of lady you want to mess with. Moving on from there. The way this family seemingly holds together is the daughter, which is a terribly shy daughter who easily gets panic attacks and has a small defect, which she makes an extremely big fuss about. Ever since high school, that is. Now, there are some other people out there in real life which has a similar defect, being that one leg is longer than the other. Yeah, that's what the daughter has. Anyways, moving on from there. Of course, Amanda is actually the mother of this story, being that she's the only parent in this story, actually makes her job very difficult. I was without a dad for 5 years. Like, no joke. I was without a dad for 5 years. If you guys didn't know. If you guys didn't know, then now you do. I was without a dad for 5 years. These kids, on the other hand, and the mom, they, on the other hand, the kids were without a parent for over 16 years and counting, which is a lot worse than me being without a parent for being me without a father for 5 years. That's actually worse. Being without a father for 16 years is a lot worse than being without a father for 5 years. I can't really blame them, but certainly explains why Laura is extremely shy. Never really finished high school for her. And the son, however, did. Now, the entire gist of the story, that is, one part they actually needed to get the daughter hooked up with a husband, and Tom was sent out to the warehouse where he works at, that is, to find a gentleman caller. If you don't know what a gentleman caller is that basically what this gentleman callers actually deal with finding. It's basically like the dating back then, but it's basically like the dating app on your phone, basically getting to know each other first before you actually set time and place. The gentleman caller system was basically like that, but it was in person, which made it a whole lot better. Although it would take longer, but it was a lot better system than the dating system we have now. But now with the entire quarantine, we can't even get 6 feet. We can't even get anywhere closer than 6 feet. Not to mention with Governor Jay Inslee here in Washington State extending the freaking quarantine. And it seems like he's going to show no sign of laying down this quarantine at all. Even with all these suits out for him. Seems like he's not going to back down till somebody evicts him from office. But anyways, I'm going on a tangent there. That is basically the moral gist of the story. And when the German caller does arrive, eventually near the end, they realize it wasn't actually a gentleman caller. The symbol of the gentleman caller is that the gentleman caller is long expected something we always long and wait for. Basically, some sort of gift that you've always been wanting and haven't received for a long time that you've put in a request for, or any sort of something that you've been long waiting and expecting for. And that is actually specifically stated right out front by Tom himself, very beginning, which was actually kind of neat and handy, to be honest. But I want to know what you think. Leave your opinion. But this is just my opinion on the story, since I've actually read it before and seen one of the movies. This is my opinion. I want to know what's yours. Comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button in the face, including the like button if you actually like this stream. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing the other two streams. For part two, we will be going into Amanda as a parent, but we'll be looking into her, to what she wants for the family, and at sometimes she seemingly contradicts herself. That's what we will be getting into tomorrow. If you haven't been subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe if you don't want to miss one of those streams. I don't know what your thoughts are on this so far. This is just my opinion. I don't know what's yours. Leave a comment down below. Peace.